Good morning, friends. Today we are going to learn the syllabus and introduction to syllabus of our short-term course of film studies. We are going to learn about the especially Indian cinema, the development of the Bollywood, what are the influences on Bollywood and influences of Bollywood, and again the genres and styles and song and dance, what kind of development is happened in the Indian cinema, especially related to the Bollywood. And when we think about the film studies as theoretical part, it is a film and how it is developed. You must know what is the theoretical part of the film studies. That is the main motto of this particular syllabus and the particular short-term course. First of all, you must know what are the objectives of the course, what you are going to achieve through this particular course. After learning this course, you are going to learn the historical background of Indian cinema. What is the historical background of Indian cinema? All of you know only the most famous first film as Raja Harishchandra by Dada Saheb Phalke. But more than that, there is a historical background of Indian cinema and you must know about that. The second objective is about to understand the effect of socio-political changes on Indian cinema. See, what is the socio-political changes on Indian cinema is the most important part in this syllabus also. When we learn literature, it is said that literature is the mirror of the society. In the same manner, film is also the presentation or the representation of the society, and what are the socio-political changes is happened in the society is reflected in the films. If we take example, one of the best example of Hindi movie is the Hera Fairy. That is the comedy movie. We see it as a comedy film, but when we think about as the point of view of the film, why it is directed by the director, what is the purpose behind it? It shows the poverty of the young people in India and the basic problem of unemployment in India. So the socio-political situation is the most important part in Indian cinema. Again, if we can take example of the partition films, we come to know the situations at the time of the partition. For example, the films like Gadar, films like Pinjar, which are the most famous Bollywood movies which are based on the partition of India. The next objective is about to understand the influence of Bollywood on society. What kind of influence happened on Bollywood? That is influence of the Hollywood cinema as well as the Indian situations. Next objective is about learn the genres and style of Indian cinema. That is, what are the genres and styles is used by the various directors in the Indian cinema, particularly in the Bollywood. If we think about genres and styles, there are various styles. That there is a comedy films, there is a tragicomedy films, there is a silent films. Again, we can take examples of the only the art films. All those are the genres and styles followed in Indian cinema, especially in Bollywood. The next objective is about to understand the dialogue and script writing of the cinema. This is also the most important part of cinema, script writing. When we think about each dialogue, when we see the film and we come to know the famous dialogues from the film, why it is written. As we can take example of the Shakespeare, that is always the dialogue is to be or not to be. Or if we come again to the Bollywood films, there are one of the famous dialogue from the film Sholay. So In this way, we can understand what are the dialogues and script writing format of the cinema and how the cinema is become famous and uh, learn become very famous for the uh, particular dialogue. So these are the objectives of the course, and you are going to learn those objectives throughout the syllabus, and you are going to achieve those objectives in this particular syllabus. The first unit of this particular syllabus is, that is, history of Indian cinema. If you go through the internet and you will come the history of Indian cinema, there is a bifurcation as per the period in Indian cinema. If we learn the period of literature, we come to know there is a period from classical literature to the postmodern literature, or the postmodern literature, or it come to the new literature. But when we are going to learn about the history of Indian cinema, there is a beginning of the history of Indian cinema from the 1890s to 1940s. It is the period of early history. It is called as a early history, the period from 1890s to 1940s. In that period, we learn that the development of the Indian cinema. The next part is about challenges and market expansion. What are the challenges and market expansion at the next period, that is 1930s to 1940s. We can see that there is a period of Great Depression and the beginning of the partition and independence of India. So those sensitive period is most important for the development of the Indian cinema, and those are the socio-political situations are the challenges before the Indian cinema and the production of the Indian cinema, those 10 years period. Next part is about golden age of the Indian cinema, that is late 1940s to 1960s. In this particular period, there is a emergence of the many films in various languages, and the Indian cinema is developed a lot. After that, there is a particular period of classic Bollywood, which is the 1970s, 1980s, that is the movies like Avara or the movies like Mother India. Those are the movies are called as a classic Bollywood movies. Whenever we can see that movies, we can understand what kind of period is that, and it is applicable for this particular, for the contemporary period also. The next is about New Bollywood, the 1990s to present. The New Bollywood is developed much or a lot in all the manners. When we think about the script, dialogues, songs, again the development of the movie, the flashback technique, or we can again go to the action movies, or again art films, or again only the silent films. In that way there are the musical comedies. In that way there is a development of the Indian cinema in 1990s, which is called as a New Bollywood. It is about the history of Indian cinema till today. The next unit is about influences on Bollywood. What kind of influences on Bollywood? There is influence of Sanskrit drama, Indian epic. Indian epic we go through again now. Nowadays there is last 2 years there is a period of Corona, and on TV screen we see the Indian epic recurrently, that is the Mahabharata and Ramayana, which is directed in the period of 1990s, that is the 1992-1993 period, when it was released the serial of Mahabharata and Ramayana by Moti Sagar and Ramanand Sagar. If we see that influence of Indian epic on Bollywood, we come to understand how it is influenced a lot to the Bollywood. And the next part, effect of Sanskrit drama. After that, effect of Parsi theatre. Parsi theatre that is the Parsi people become uh, present the Parsi literature and Parsi community and the Parsi society and what is the culture of that particular community. Next part is about effect of Urdu literature. As we are living in a multilingual country, there is also the effect of Urdu literature on Bollywood. If we see the ghazals in the movies and the songs in the Bollywood movies. The next unit is about influence of Bollywood. After influence on Bollywood, there is the most important part, influence of Bollywood also. There is the first unit is about India, how it is affected to the Indian society. Next, socio-political impact. What are the socio-political impact of Bollywood on the society, on the each generation of that particular films. After that, overseas, the Bollywood cinema influenced not only the Indian people or the Indian generations, but it influenced a lot throughout the world also. Next is about influence of musical films. Influence of musical films of 1990s. If you see the movies of Three Khans, you will understand how they are the musical comedies, and particularly the songs are affected or create a particular effect on the generations or the Indian society. Next is about unit number 4, genres and styles. How there are the genres and styles developed in Indian Bollywood film city. That is first part, masala film. You are going to learn only the particular parts of the genres and styles. You are not going to in detail in that particular genres and styles of the Indian cinema, but we are going to learn only the masala film, parallel cinema and the multilingual films in the Indian Bollywood. Next unit is about dialogues and lyrics. That is first part, script writing. Second part, use of colloquial register. Colloquial register, if you see the movie like Vastav, in that the Marathi family is shown. Most of the movie shows the Marathi family or the Maharashtrian background or the city of Mumbai. There are the variation in the dialogues, and most of the Marathi words is used in that words or the particularly dialogues used in the Indian cinema. So that is the effect of the colloquial register. If you again see the movie like what is that movie, Singham, the police from the Marathi family and talking in Marathi also, or the particular dialogue by Kareena Kapoor. Next unit is about Urdu dialogues. Urdu dialogues, if you see the particular movies which are affect the Urdu dialogues for the particular scene or a particular event in that movie. Next is about ghazals and lyrics. All of you know what are the ghazals and lyrics are used in the Indian cinema and how they are become famous. If you see the movie which are based on the life of the soldiers, that is the soldiers or the Indian particularly soldiers and their life in the war situation. So in that way there is a use of ghazals and lyrics in that particular movies. And the last unit is about the song and dance. Bollywood songs and Bollywood dance. Bollywood song, after that music, playback singing and Indian dance. All the things are mixed in the song and dance. There is a effect of the classical dance also. There is a effect of a remix dance also. After that, how the music is changed throughout the history of Indian cinema, and the playback singing also changed, and how there is many changes in the dialogues and also playback singing, that is the use of technology. And after that, Indian dance, all of us see the many dance competitions on the TV screen, and which also affect on the Indian cinema. So this is the unit number 6, and those are the units from 1st to 6. You are going to learn the history, after that genres and style, influence of Bollywood, influence on Bollywood, dialogues and lyrics, and song and dance. In this way you are going to learn this particular short term course for the 3 months, or the in the 30 hours lectures. So in the next lecture we will move towards the first unit of the this particular syllabus, that is the history of Indian cinema. Till then, bye bye and thank you.